Hi everybody and welcome to Simply Scuba and welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving a little bit deeper into the lens choice options on scuba diving masks. There are quite a few different ones out there that do different things, and some can be a little bit confusion over sort of what they do and what they are actually for. So I figured I'd spend a little bit of time of each of them, what they do, where they're really designed for, and where they can often suffer as well, because sometimes when you make one particular aspect of the lens great, you have to sacrifice something else. Amber glass, like on the Aqualung plasma mask. So these are pretty much just tinted lenses. The tinting helps to enhance red colours in deeper waters. As the reds start to disappear, you don't get that red light when you're deep underwater. That way not everything is just blue when you have these lenses. It's a bit more vibrant and it really brings the reds back into what you can see underwater. Around the surface, you might notice the reddish tint, but your eyes do adjust to that. When you're sort of in that first few meters, you're still getting that red light coming from the sun, so this just adds to it, but your eyes do naturally adjust. The amber tint also helps to reduce glare around the surface, especially in sunny conditions, which is nice. You don't get that sort of glare from the surface, you can look at things, so they're acting a bit like tinted sunglasses. The water surface naturally refracts light and makes that nice kind of twinkly effect, but it's basically shining sunlight directly into your eyes, and you need to protect your eyes, so these are going to help a little bit. So these are for sunny blue water diving where you want to see those reds at a bit more depth. Where they do fall down is going to be for photographers. They're going to be throwing your eyes' natural white balance off because they always add this sort of amber filter in front of your eyes. And yeah, around the surface, in the first sort of 5 meters or so, everything's going to be a little bit amber for a bit. It's only below 5 meters where you're going to get the most benefit of these amber tinted lenses. A UV coating filters out certain wavelengths of light, usually the HEV wavelengths, the ultraviolet to high energy visible light. That is what's damaging to your eyes. Somewhere around the 420 nanometer wavelength area, that overlaps the UVA range of light. UVA actually damages your body's tissues deeper than UVB, and of course, it can damage your eyes as well, and these are the wavelengths that the lenses are cutting out. They don't allow them into the mask. You find this on masks like the Apex VX1. You have the standard version of the VX1, and if you pay a little more, you get the VX1 UV. If you do spend a lot of time around sunny waters, then it is a great upgrade on your diving mask. It's a bit like wearing sunglasses. Sure, you don't spend that much time actually on the surface during a dive, but that light is still there even when you're under the water, and it all adds up over time. The cost to upgrade from a normal glass to a UV cut isn't usually that much, but it is worth it to your eyes. They don't have that much of a downside really. Sure, they cost a little bit extra, but by cutting out the blue-purple wavelengths of natural light, there's plenty of blue light down there on a dive. They're not like dark sunglasses that filter out light so you can't see anything at night. It's nothing like that. They'll still do fine in low light conditions. Anti-reflective coating, or ARC, from Atomic Aquatics. This is clever stuff. For most glass around us that we say day to day, we can see the glass, unless it's really, really clean glass panel in a shopping centre, but I don't want to talk about what happened then. But most glass actually has reflections on it. It's really shiny and light naturally reflects off the surfaces, both on the outside and the inside of the glass as well. Light's a tricky thing, it bounces, but all of the light that bounces off the glass isn't going all the way through it and then getting to your eyes. Anti-reflective lenses have a special coating on the inside and the outside. It's the arc in atomic masks. So it actually allows more light to travel through them, and it reduces the reflections. Subframe and the Venom masks, they're available with arc lenses or the standard optical glass without the arc coating. Arc helps by reducing internal reflections, which reduces that ghost reflection, which kind of sounds cool. It's got a cool name, the ghost reflections, but it's that reflection of your eye right in front of your eye on the lens when the light just shines at just the right angle, and that's kind of all you can see in front of you is just your eye. Arc gets rid of that. Arc is great for photographers and divers who really appreciate pure clarity and just more vivid colors when they're under the water, because more light is literally getting into your eyes. As far as downsides, it's mainly the cost. A lot of work and clever sciencey stuff goes into coating both sides of the glass, and that isn't cheap. Optical glass is just regular tempered glass, but with most of the impurities taken out of it. Most diving masks, they have tempered glass lenses. It's safer because it granulates instead of just, when it breaks, instead of turning to sharp slithers. But if you see that kind of the T or tempered on the glass lens, that's why it is much safer. But like most glass, it actually has plenty of impurities in it that affects the color and clarity of what you see. It's that greenish blue color that you see when you look at the edge of glass. That's all of the impurities in that glass, but it isn't easy to get that bluish green color out of it. Optical glass, again, is clear when you see, or colorless, mostly colorless when you look at the edge. It's good for photographers and those, again, who appreciate pure clarity. And again, it is a bit more expensive because of all the added work that goes into removing those impurities. For casual diving, divers who only go sort of once, maybe once a year, every other year, they probably won't notice that much of a difference, to be honest. But they're a great all-rounder. Night diving, blue water, green water, they're great lenses, but it is an investment. So if you're not overly fussed about the purest clarity, it's not that essential. The one thing about all of these lens treatments and even normal tempered glass lenses on masks is that they need to be prepared and treated when they're new and before a dive to help prevent them from fogging up during that dive. The last thing that you want to do is use something that's too abrasive that scratches that new expensive coating off or scratches the glass itself. Each manufacturer will recommend something different, so it's best that you ask them directly for your specific mask, but I've seen everything recommended from just using pH neutral soap to remove that internal residue. It's nice and gentle. Children's toothpaste, it's non-abrasive compared to the adult stuff, but before you go scrubbing or using a cigarette lighter, check the manufacturer's specific recommendations for that mask. Believe me, the people that make them are the best people to ask, and follow those regulations or those recommendations as carefully as possible. So those were the most common lens treatments on diving masks. We stock a whole bunch of different diving masks on SimplyScuba.com. You can check them out in the link down in the description below. If you've come across any other lens treatments, anything fancy, and you're unsure on what it does, whether it's a benefit, and you just want me to explain it, let us know down in the comments below and we'll get back to you. Thank you for watching, everybody, and of course, safe diving.